then.
No, it's the Coke. Sorry.
The Coke. Are you taking Coke?
Good evening, all. And yes, we are back. Loud and Oddie. I'm loud. He's Oddie. Now, if you haven't seen us before, please don't be offended. We're not here to be offended. We're here to talk about some serious stuff. And guys, yes, I'm still here. I'm still here. I am safe. So don't worry. Don't worry. Mark came down and saved me. That was a lie. He never came down and saved me. He just took a mick out of me. But anyway, good evening, guys. Don't forget, if you've got any messages, please leave them in the column. If you don't worry about it. We'll carry on. Mark, good evening.
Good evening, Steve. Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm fine. A little warm, like most people are, but
yes, I feel like a Mars bar at the moment.
What, you feel like a Mars bar?
Yeah. No, not to eat, but you know, I'm
right.
Oh, go away. You know, like I'm being melted like a Mars bar.
Well, I'm melting like a cheap candle from Home Bargains right now.
Oh yeah, those candles from Home Bargains, eh? You never know, do they? You never know. They are cheap, aren't they? Eh? Cheap.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, guys, we're going to talk about tonight. Why is music great for you? Why what? Take your time. Why is music good for your mental health? Oh, good.
Oh.
Yeah. So why is music good for your mental health? Now, I used to go to a place called Mind. Everybody knows Mind, yeah, and everybody know that I'm a great big advocate for Mind, and I've been to several groups, music groups, and they get different people in their groups and everything, doing different things, writing songs and playing the tambourine. That's what I can play really. No, I can play the guitar, and anyway, so it's all about mental health. And the trouble is, people are saying, Mark, that mental health music is good for your mental health.
It sure is. Playing music, performing music is good for your mental health, I think, because it can be a form of expression, expressing how you feel, expressing joy and sadness. If you're a singer like I am, sometimes singing certain songs can help you articulate the way you're feeling, and you can actually put yourself into the song. And then, of course, on the other side of the coin, listening to music, I believe, is good for your mental health because you're hearing something that you enjoy most of the time, fingers crossed. And there's nothing like enjoying a good song. It can also bring back happy memories. You can think back to a time when you were happy or with someone that you're no longer with. But I think perhaps as well, music can be a little damaging to your mental health.
Right, okay. So let's go on to that point then. I'm glad you come up with that because that's what I was going to bring up next. So you said about flipping the coin and everything about music is really good for our mental health. Yeah, that's fine. But when we kind of like, tip that coin and say, right, okay, what are the down things about mental health? It's like if you come out of a relationship, say, and you're still in love with your partner that's gone off with Uncle Derek or wherever that she's gone or he's gone, or whatever, you're still going to be down and really depressed, aren't you?
Yeah. And sometimes, and we've spoken about this before in the past, it's perfectly fine to, when you're in that state of mind where you are feeling depressed, because something has ended, like a relationship. You know, there's nothing wrong with letting the grief consume you. Just let it wash over you. Let it all out, as they say. But then you can sometimes take that a little bit too far, and you get some people that will play the song that was their song, and they'll play it repeatedly, and you'll find yourself wallowing. And you know, there's a huge difference between wallowing in misery and coming to terms with misery. And I think, you know, in that instance, music can be quite, it can be a little detrimental, perhaps, because, like I say, music is something. It's like a smell. You can hear a song, and you can find yourself transported back to a time decades ago, and you know, you'll find yourself in a place or with a person that you haven't seen for 20, 30 years, and you know, and that's one of the wonderful things about music. And the smell, for example, can do that. You know, it's one of the senses, but and you know, but it's the whole thing of where you allow yourself to wallow in, you know, what might have been, and all the rest of it. I think that's when it becomes a little bit dodgy.
Yeah, that's it. Do you think sometimes though it's difficult when we listen to music and all the memories are coming back? You know, do you think we ever be able to get over our emotions, say?
No, not fully. I don't think you ever. I don't think you ever really do. I think with anything that's, you know, anything that's brought you sadness or brought you trouble, you just have to learn to deal with it and live with it. And everything has a place, I suppose. And you know, it's happened to you. Nothing in the world is going to change the situation that's happened to you. You can't erase it. You can't rewrite history. And I think it's just a case of taking that, whatever it is, and finding a suitable place for it. It might be something really extreme, like burying it in the back garden, like a dead pet, perhaps. But that might be what you have to do. Yeah, I don't think you ever fully. I don't think you ever fully get over, i.e., you completely put something behind you, because it's always there. I think you've got to make choices, really, and
yeah. I think the trouble is, so I think the last 18 months when different people were on Facebook, say, and they were doing their bit, you know, these like Elvis, you know, people and other people doing music, plus yourself and everybody, you know, that's kept everybody kind of like in a place where, you know, where they were, even though they were down, you know, you guys, you know, helped them to get through basically because of the music they were playing. There was something different than being kind of like depressed because of this COVID.
yeah. You see, that's another positive thing about music. It's something that you share with people. You go to a concert, for example, and you've got this thing going with other, you know, thousands of other people where you've gone to see whoever, and there's like this communal thing. And music does bring people together, you know, and I see that with the work I do. And, you know, pre-COVID, and I'm looking forward to it happening again at some point in the future. Maybe at the moment, despite it being Freedom Day, it might be a little bit too soon for strangers to grab each other and put their arms around each other and sing it along with Run Around Sue. But that whole thing of seeing people, it happens, Steve, it happens. But the whole thing of seeing people united, you know, through music, it's a wonderful, wonderful thing.
Yeah,
and that's what the internet shows did. Because I did a few of them. You know, Facebook tended to chuck me off most times or mute the video, which was very annoying. But that was you know, I used to watch, you know, like Ellen, who you've had on your show a few times. I've watched her live feeds. She's watched mine. We've got friends that, you know, and it was almost like we were back in the Lowmore Club. That's where we all go on a Tuesday night, and we'd all be like talking to each other, and it did bring people together during the 2 or 3 lockdowns that we've had to endure, over the last 16 months.
Yeah, I think it was very good. This is what I did. I set this up during COVID last year, and I think now it's our year's anniversary. So,
All right.
We've been a year now doing this. So, but it's music can kind of lift our mental health, can it? I remember I'm a kind of a big Elvis fan, and there was only certain people that I only watched on Facebook, right? Kind of like because not because they were like rubbish at what they do. It was because I felt that they were giving their all and putting a lot into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I think, and that's what did it for me. So, and that's why I had in the beginning. That's why I had a lot of people on my show who was doing Elvis because I think they needed a lot of respect because what we were going through at that particular time and still am now. It was really horrible, and these guys were like yourself. You were stuck in. There was no gigs going on, and we talked about this before.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And
yeah, I mean, it was a two-way thing, definitely, because it also gave us singers, entertainers, whatever you want to call us. It also allowed us to keep our hand in, shall we say, when we weren't allowed to go out and work, and and knowing that you've made somebody happy for an hour is a lovely thing to do, and it's a lovely thing to hear. So it was like a two-way thing as well.
Oh yeah. I think. What do you think? Looking to the future, then, do you think that the music is a place where we can use music as therapy for mental health, or do you think we should get rid?
No, I don't think you should get rid. I think it all depends on the person, really. I live and breathe music. It's it keeps me going. A song is the first thing I probably think of when I wake up in the morning. It's probably the last thing that goes through my mind at night, because of the work I do as well. I'm always having to think of what song can I introduce next week, and all the rest of it. So I'm constantly thinking of music, and there's absolutely nothing wrong with finding joy in something like music, and all power to those that do. It's not a destructive thing, by and large. So no, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. And if people choose to use it as a crutch or as a friend, because music to me is a friend. I've always seen music as a friend.
Oh yeah, of course.
It's there for me when I need it. I can call upon Elvis Presley whenever I need to, and there he is on my shelf, and he doesn't say to me, "Oh, it's been a while since you've been here." It's there whenever I need it, and it's wonderful. So no, we shouldn't ever get rid of music just because we feel there might be something else which people should be doing or thinking or employing to get themselves through the day.
Yeah, and that's totally right. As a kind of like singer yourself, do you find when because we all get down now and again, do you find as someone who is in the music business, do you find that you get your moments and you get down and what you do is you put music on and could that calm you down?
Definitely. Because music can be very soothing in a lot of ways, I think. And there's certain songs that can calm me down, and there's certain songs that can ground me. The Sun Ain't Gonna Shine Anymore by the Walker Brothers is one. I just have to hear that song, and the rest of the world disappears for 3 minutes. It really has that power to do that to me. Yeah.
Yeah. Do you find that when things are going really bad in your life and everything,
Mm-hmm.
do you find, say that you went out for a gig, say, and you kind of like a couple hours before the gig, you're thinking, oh, I don't really want to go there tonight. Do you ever get moments like that? Then, and when you're there, do you think, oh, I'm glad I'm here now?
No, I've never had that about the work I do, although I have heard other singers say that. I don't understand that because to me, to be in a position where I can earn myself a few quid doing something that I love and doing something that people seem to enjoy, that is a massive, massive privilege. And I will never ever lose sight of that. God, I hope I never ever reach that point. I personally don't understand it, but I have heard people say exactly what you just said there. I've seen singers as well, which you can tell they don't want to be there. I've gone to see other singers do gigs, or
Yeah,
I've seen sing,
yeah.
and you can see them going through. They're not even going through the motions. It's obvious that they don't want to do it, and I just think it's a massive abuse of position. And like I say, it's a privilege. But again, that might be because of the relationship I have with music. And I'm also, I mean, like I did a gig, was it last weekend in Leeds, and there was hardly anybody there. And there were a couple of moments during the gig where I was thinking to myself, oh dear. But then I remembered that I like the song I'm singing. And then I did get a little bit, I dared myself to actually think, well, I'm still going to get paid for this, And then so I was able to, in my mind, turn because I wasn't really in despair or anything like that. I was just a little bit kind of, it's at one point it started to feel a little bit like a chore, if you know what I'm saying. Like it was, oh, I've got another set to do after this sort of thing. That nobody's really here to watch it. But like I say, I just started channeling my mind towards what I was doing. I thought, oh, I actually like this song, and then I started thinking, and I'm still going to get paid. So, you've got to try and find some sort of a positive angle on things that you do.
Beth Penfold is just kind of messaged me, and she said, which song does most kind of like lift your mood? What song? What kind of?
There's many songs. I mean, bringing the whole thing round to a specific sort of music, and I've spoken to you about this before, Steve. Yeah. I don't have much time for modern music, but one band that I loved when I was a teenager was the Smiths, and Morrissey, for example, the singer. A lot of people think of him as miserable, and the songs are depressing and dreary and all the rest of it. And I can see that if I look at it from a certain point of view, because the subject matter was a little heavy. But I found them to be a very, very uplifting band. And I find Morrissey to be a very, very uplifting singer, because he was singing about things that I was feeling, and I could totally get it. And there was many a time I would feel a little bit down, as a confused 16-year-old wondering what the hell I'd been born for. And I'd put on a certain song. And it again, I'm using the word friend here, but it felt like, I was getting somebody and somebody was getting me. And I found their music, and I still find their music incredibly uplifting. And the stuff that people might think is depressing, I actually find it very beautiful and sort of like touching. Yeah. And then of course there's certain Elvis Presley songs which, the same applies. Although I don't necessarily relate to. Let me pluck one out of the Burning Love, for example, even though I'm melting like a cheap candle here. But there's an energy in that song that totally grabs me, and I love it.
Yeah.
And then
Gary,
in the Ghetto, in the Ghetto is my favorite Elvis song, and that is a very bleak song and a very depressing song if you were to read the lyrics and not know anything else about it. But he sings it so beautifully, and the song is beautiful, and again, it uplifts me.
yeah, it certainly does. And the trouble is, we can always sing songs, and the trouble is, we never look at the words, do we?
Oh, that's what everybody in my audiences say. Learn the words. No, they don't. I'm only joking.
No, they just walk out, don't they?
They do, yeah. No, well, listen, a song, right, isn't just about words. It can be the sound of somebody's voice can be more important than the actual words they're saying. And, it's amazing, really, as well, how many people you hear singing songs and they sing the completely wrong lyrics. But, and then when they finally, when they go on karaoke, and it's like, what the hell's this?
Yeah, go on to one of the Elvis pages, and you find out. Gary says I play different kinds of music depending on how I feel. Gary in Keep. Here you go. He's got a message here. Look.
Yeah.
He sings from the heart.
What Gary sings from the heart?
He says about probably he's saying about Elvis sings from the heart, probably, or you sing from the heart.
I sing from the heart, and I sing from the gut and other places.
Right. Okay.
This is a family show, so what's say?
All right. Good. Eve.
There's Beth again.
That's Beth again. Gary said, Morrissey, right? Okay. There you go.
There you go.
There you go, Morrissey. Yeah. So the trouble is, do you think that honestly, one day in the near future, that music can be a big healing for our mental health?
That day's here, Steve. It's been here for a long time, I think. And I don't think I really believe, that's. But I can only speak from my perspective. But I think the evidence is there that it is, it's a wonderful thing, and it's. I think we're already there, mate.
Okay. Beth. I used to like the Smiths. I used to like them until they got taken over by Golden Wonder, and then it was Walkers, and they walked off. Okay,
Steve, wait a minute. Let me just say as well, you've been flooding the internet with jokes over the weekend, Steve, and that has not been good for my mental health.
No,
it's plummeted. Terrible jokes, the worst jokes I've ever heard. So can we have some more next week?
Yeah, no, we do. You do it just for. I do it for a laugh to try people up.
I'm glad somebody does.
Well, we got to do it, and we got to.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, they. The trouble is, I'm trying to get this video up so we can watch this video, because I found this video today actually while I was speaking to Beth, but don't tell Beth, right?
Okay,
and when Beth was talking, I was on the video, and it just popped up, and I thought, I better take this.
Oh, it's not Danny Minogue, is it? Not Danny Minogue. Leona Lewis, no.
No, it's nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
As a part of this larger project, the Royal College of Music set out on an ambitious research project involving over 200 participants to explore whether 6-week and 10-week courses of group drumming could improve mental health.
Hello, I'm Tobias, and I lead the drumming sessions. I am supported by 3 students from the Royal College of Music, and we run the sessions together. So we run a number of drumming workshops, a series of drumming workshops. We drum together, we learn together, we explore the drum. Most of all, it's important to have fun together.
I came along as my mother's carer. It's really fun, and we're both quite sort of lively and energetic afterwards. So that's a really, really positive thing, and it's a nice part of the week.
I'm a musician, and I'm one of the RCM assistants of this workshop. And I choose to do this because I want to meet more new people from different backgrounds, not especially musical backgrounds, and just to enjoy myself with all of them, really.
Before, during, and after the drumming courses, participants were invited to answer validated psychological scales, attend focus groups and interviews, and give saliva samples to assess their stress and immune function. From the psychological scales, we found that 10 weeks of group drumming led to decreases on average of 20% in anxiety and 38% in depression levels. All of these improvements were found to be maintained for 3 months following the end of the intervention. We found that a single session of group drumming led to decreases in stress hormones and improvements in immune function, and the entire 10-week intervention led to reductions in levels of inflammation in participants, which is the same finding as in drugs and psychological studies looking at mental health.
We were able to fully explore the changes that we saw in participants' mental health through analyzing information from interviews and focus groups. This showed us that the drumming facilitated experiences of positive emotions and a sense of accomplishment. This experience also led to an increase in self-esteem and provided new and enhanced social interactions. Overall, participants felt more engaged and more in control of their lives.
We were also able to examine why drumming led to enhanced mental health. First, the specific features of the drumming, which provided a form of non-verbal communication, as well as a grounding and rhythmical experience that both generated but also liberated energy. Second, the specific features of the group, which materialized as a space of connection, where participants were able to feel acceptance, safety, and care, as well as forming new social interactions. Finally, the features of the learning environment, which framed learning music as a very inclusive activity, where the concept of making mistakes is dissolved, and where a very embodied process is facilitated by an expert musical leader.
When you finish the session, you feel more or less over the moon because you've actually gained something you never ever dreamed of gaining, and you've walked out actually almost drunk with music. Sessions gave me something to focus on every week, so I could think ahead and think.
There you go.
Definitely drumming's had an effect.
What do you think about that, drumming?
It were good. Oh, I am moving. I thought I was on a frozen picture then. Yeah, that kind of repeats what I was saying earlier. I think the whole thing of playing an instrument, especially, you can channel yourself through an instrument. I've done it playing guitar, or I used to when I was much younger. If I was feeling upset and
guitar, can you?
You've seen me play guitar, Steve. I've come on your show and I've.
Yes, I'm only joking.
I walked right into that one, didn't I? But I think that whole thing where you can actually put yourself into an instrument and you can express yourself through an instrument, and the whole thing as well that several people were talking there about the social aspects of it, the interaction with other people, and then the whole thing as well. I can't imagine the older lady that went with her daughter. And they said it was a good part of the week. I can't imagine that 10 years ago she ever thought she'd be sitting in a room with a dozen or so other people and banging a drum or banging a bongo or whatever it was. It's something new and it's something she enjoys. And, keeping time isn't a natural ability for some people. So I would imagine there's probably a sense of achievement there, which is fantastic for mental health.
Yeah. That's it. And, I like the guy. Did you see the guy when he was going?
Yeah.
That made me a bit chuckle, but, that was a bit funny. I can imagine that's that bloke who I interviewed the other day. Him on that drum, you know.
Which work are we on about? You know who from last Monday? Him that has stables.
Shut up.
And a big saw.
He didn't have a saw or a big stable. He had a chainsaw.
Oh, good lordy.
Yeah.
But he was over in America. How would he get a horse's head through customs, Steve, to leave it in your bed?
He said he knows people. Did you hear that thing when he said, I know people in the UK?
Yeah.
I thought, yeah, okay. I need to hide out in Beth's place. I'll have to get in contact with Beth and say, Beth, can I hide out? No,
well,
but...
what a wonderful friend you are, bringing trouble to Beth's door now. We don't want his sort in the north of England with the threats and the horses' heads. I better be careful because he's probably watching this, and he'll be waiting for you at my next gig.
Yeah. Beth, if you're listening, can you come down and get me? No way.
No, she's coming to save me first.
Forget about it. Come and save me.
That's lovely, isn't it?
No, I think the trouble is with anything, seriously, like music, or I think it does help to kind of, help our mental health, our state, our well-being. I think it just, but sometimes though, I find it, what can I say? If you're going through a bad time and you're really, really depressed, some people will put that song on, won't it? I'll repeat it again,
Yeah.
That kind of particular song on, and that will get you really low.
Well, that's the wallowing I was talking about earlier on. And it's all well and good to revisit, something that might make you sad, because there can be some beauty in that. Yeah. But no, not to the point where you're playing, all by myself over and over and thumping the bed with determined passion. No.
Thumping the bed with determined passion.
Determined passion.
All right.
Have you never done that, Steve?
Long time ago, but long time.
Oh my God.
I'm not telling you about my life. People are listening here. Anyway, but and everybody else is, the people, the lovely people, We don't want to put Beth into a wrong thing. But what I'm trying to say is, at the end of the day, how can we make music much better for mental health?
Well, I think the rise and popularity in YouTube is a brilliant thing, because unlike 20, 30 years ago, music is really, really accessible now. And you only have to think of a song title, go to YouTube, put it in, and 99 times out of 100, the song will be there. Music is free nowadays. So I think that's a good thing. So if it was 20, 30 years ago and you asked me that same question, I would probably said make music more widely available. It shouldn't be something that, you have to spend a $5 on just to get pleasure from. The world's moved on. I could be really glib and say people should write and record happier songs, but I think music is making people happy in the same way that it always did. And, and the music evolves through the years, as it always has. There'll be somebody out there that will hear the song that's #1 in the download charts, and they will get exactly the same pleasure from it than I did back in 1983 when I first heard this charming man. That's the beauty of music.
Yeah. I used to be very much so with my music. I used to like a lot of what can I say? I used to be what you call a romantic sort of guy.
I know. You still are.
Believe it or not, I like love songs and Celine
Oh.
Dion and and everything. Yeah.
It's written all over your face, Steve. It's written all over your face.
I used to get my tissue out, what, I used
Mark,
to go,
don't ask him.
I used to go tissue to wipe my eyes, But
You've just got this show taken off the air.
No, but you know what I'm getting at.
I know what you're getting at.
And
I
the
know.
trouble is, we're so grateful today when we get people coming into our pubs and the clubs. People like you and people like everybody else is coming into our pubs and clubs and playing music, even though it's for like 1 or 2 hours. It's giving everybody joy, and it's giving everybody kind of like time out where they can enjoy themselves, out a pint, and everything else they got. And that's it, But in your case, you do go along and play your music. Well done for that. But keep the audience, mate.
Keep the audience.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Lock the doors and don't let them leave? What do you mean?
Yeah, well, how many people did you have there the other day? Huh? I think we need I think I should be your management.
Yeah, I do too.
I reckon what we should do is lock people in. When they come in, we should lock them in and chain them to the seats. Huh?
What if they want to dance, Steve?
Well, they get up and dance.
Chained to the seats?
No, they can still be chained up, but they can't. They can do the locomotion. Chained.
Chaining people up, tissues. God. I heard earlier on that you put Lippy on in the car.
Lippy in the car?
Yes.
I didn't put no Lippy in the car. Who told you that?
It was in Beth's podcast to you. The interview you did with Beth earlier on. She knows how putting Lippy on makes you happy. That was revealed. We all heard it. It was revealed to the world, Steve.
I did not say that at all.
No, you didn't. She did, and you didn't correct her either.
Well,
you laughed. A nervous laugh. A kind of I've been caught out kind of nervous laugh.
Can I just say something to you, Mr. Memphis?
Yeah.
I'm going to say something to you now. Your friend is at your front door with a chainsaw.
Well, it's been nice knowing you.
Yeah. He'll probably give me his head and stick it on my wall playing darts. No, I'm only joking. Thanks, guys. Thanks for watching. Oh, what a good evening we had. We had a nice country singer. We had a lovely Beth Penfold. Then we had Susan Lee, and now I can't remember his name. Oh yeah, him. Mark Memphis, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Mark. You are a star, very funny. You should become a comedian,
Yes, if I had a day job, I'd give it up and become a comedian.
Yes, yeah, you should do.
But listen, I can't compete with you. You keep those jokes coming on a weekend, and maybe I'll steal a few and do the Northern clubs.
Yeah, I'm going to. Great show. Thank you, Beth. You know what you're saying about me, Beth? I'll tell her, I'll tell her. Anyway, I've got to behave myself because, yes, one of my, yeah. Okay, guys, thank you very much for watching me. I'm back tomorrow. We ain't got no more shows tonight. Thank goodness. But
Where's my hand? I always say this. Bye-bye, everybody. Good mental health. enjoy the sunshine, put lots of sun lotion on, be careful with the freedom, and please laugh at Steve's jokes.
Yes, and also, if you ever up Mark's way, go and watch him. All right?
Up my way.
Yeah, if you're ever up in sunny Bradford, Bradford, well, what a place. Lovely place, Bradford. Go up and see him. He's in one of the pubs probably this weekend, playing his music. And, give him a pat on the back and say, hey, even though there's no one here, I'm here for you. And one person that can really boost him up, So anyway, guys, see you later. Take care.
Okay.
See you later, Mark.
See you, mate.
See you later, mate. I hope you
See
get
you
a lot
later.
of people at your gig. There you go. It's all jokes, isn't it? Take care, everybody. Thank you very much for the day. Safe journey and be careful. Bye-bye.